disgusting video. U.S. police ignored, watched while Ghanaian died in front of them. By now, all of us have heard about the Ghanaian by name Kingsley Fifi Bimpong. Born late 1974. My brother, my sister, at Aguna Swedru. He went to school at Swedru Secondary School, and also at Adisadel College. Whilst coming up, he wanted to do something with mathematics. His father was a very great man, in fact, an MP during the days of Jerry John Rawlings. After the elections in 1992, he became an MP for the Aguna area there. My brother, my sister, he was simply called J.O.B. John Oscar Bimpong. Now, this man here was born in April 1946. And he was a lecturer at the Cape Coast University. My brother, my sister, a very wonderful son of the land, John Oscar Bimpong. He represented his people in Parliament after he left academia, where he taught English language, mathematics, and even statistics. So our man for today, Kingsley Fifi Bimpong, wanted to be like his father. He honestly wanted to be a mathematician. So when he went to school, he studied mathematics. Yes, this is the man we're talking about. He studied mathematics, just like his father, also studied statistics. And he even taught some people around him mathematics and statistics. He wanted to be a great thinker. He wanted to be a politician like his father, like many children want to take after their father. Now, after some time, he decided that he had to move to the United States of America. And he got the opportunity to do so. First, he landed in Chicago, where he was hustling. In fact, the very first year he arrived in Chicago, working very hard and hustling, he was so excited about how much money he had made by coming to America. He posted his bank statement right there on Facebook. My brother, my sister, how much did he make? Watch it. Bank of America, the account holder, Kingsley, he withdrew $200 and he had $55,777 American dollars left. He was so excited. Convert that into Ghana cedis and you would see why he had a reason to be very, very excited. In order to be able to live in America, he hooked up with an American woman. And then they got married and they had a child. Oh, yes. Then after some time, the marriage broke down and he came to Ghana to get married to another woman. Oh, yes. One gift mensa. They got married after several years of staying in America. And he didn't hide his affection and love for this lady called Gift Mensa. He posted a lot of these, in fact, very, very affectionate photographs. He grew dreadlocks because he believed in the Pan-African idea. And of course, he followed it from left, right, and center. He loved the Pan-African dream and ideology. This is him and Gifty Mensa. They had a very good time. Now, once in a while, he would travel all the way to Ghana, and he was a man who loved to chill. In videos, you would see him chilling with his friends, like in this one. That's him wearing his red shirt. And of course, his dreadlocks flying left, right, and center. This was one of the very last visits he had to the motherland, Ghana. And here he was having a very good time. My brother, my sister, and the table alone tells you how much they enjoyed and chilled. This is Kingsley Fifi Bimpong, living the American dream. He became a postmaster in Minnesota after he moved from Chicago. And the American dream was on. He made money. He had a wife. He had a child who he named after his father, simply called J. And remember, his father was called John. And many people just called him J. He lived the American dream. He had a very good life. Then on the 16th, oh my God, have mercy, of November 2024, we are told he had a bad headache while at work and decided that he would take the day off. Whilst he was on his way home, my brother, my sister, little did he know that this was going to be his end. He suffered a certain kind of stroke, which got him confused, and he drove into oncoming vehicles. Instead of driving on the other side, he drove headlong into cars that were approaching him. And the police quickly had to come in and stop him, as you can see in the footages here. The first question they asked him, "What is your name?" He said, "I don't know." He had a stroke. He was confused. Number two, "Where do you live?" He said, "I don't know." And the police instantly thought or felt that he was driving under the influence of drugs. So what did they do? They brought in an expert. In America, they call them the DRE. Yes, drug recognition expert. And this drug recognition expert came on the scene. He was called Jensen. Jensen, he is an expert, my brother, my sister, and he came on the spot. And when he arrived on the spot, this is the man we're talking about. He decided to do the test on the gentleman, Kingsley Fifi Bimpon, to find out if he was actually driving under the influence of drugs. Now, after about 30 minutes or less of going through whatever it was, this man here made the biggest racist mistake ever in the history of an American police officer dealing with a Ghanaian. What happened? He said, "This man is under the influence, whatever it is. We've not been able to complete it, but it is obvious that it's under the influence of drugs. To spend another 30 minutes to 35 minutes on this man would be a bunch of time wasting." Listen to that attentively. An expert has been brought in, DRE, right? Yes, drug recognition expert. Police called him in, and you can see Jensen written on his shirt. When he arrived, the two police officers who had apprehended or accosted Kingsley stood by and allowed him to do his work. After they started checking whatever was wrong with the man, about 30 minutes later, he said, "Listen, to complete this, we need another 30 to 35 minutes, and it will be a bunch of time wasting. This man is obviously on drugs. Take him away." So the two police officers asked this man, called Jensen, "You are the expert. What do you say? Should we take him to the hospital?" And this racist said, "For what? He's obviously on drugs." So they carried him to the police, and look at the video. You have never seen this video anywhere. And we are showing you that. Watch that. They are carrying him. He's entering the police station. And look at how they carried him. Now they took him in. Look at the man who is going to receive him. He's wearing gloves to protect his identity. Look at Kingsley. He's falling down. And he's peed on himself. Now the stroke has hit him harder. He should have been taken to the police station. And, I beg your pardon, to the hospital, but they took him to the police station. And police officers stood by and watched. Some police officers even said he was okay. There was no problem with him. 5 hours in police custody. Right after that, he started foaming in the mouth. And there you see him, police officers trying to give him some kind of resuscitation, pumping aerosol spray into his mouth, whatever it is called, my brother, my sister. And when they realized that, no, it was more than just dangerous, they had to take him to the hospital. See what happens here. And that is most nauseating. My brother, my sister, whoever was supposed to check on him said he was okay. Now look at him on the hospital bed, the stretcher that they are taking to the hospital. They had to still handcuff him. Even with the stroke, they handcuffed him. And look at the man lying down, cannot even move. When they arrived at the hospital, they were told that he was brain dead. When a man is brain dead, it is almost impossible to bring him back to life. American police has murdered and killed yet another black man, an African, a Ghanaian, who went to America to live the American dream. A postmaster, he worked legally for his money. On holidays, he made it to Ghana in order to be able to share the little cake he made in Minnesota with his family. He wanted to be a politician. Once in a while, he commented on Ghanaian politics. There was a time an election was coming on, and look at what he put out. This was May 12, 2021. And what did he say? Ghana needs Robin Hood to steal from the rich and give it to the poor. He will be the next president. Do you understand? Robin Hood was a thief, but he stole from the rich and gave to the poor. And here, sarcastically, Kingsley Bimpong on his Facebook page has made it clear that Ghana is actually voting a thief into power who will steal from the people. My brother, my sister, he made so many other posts. In fact, one of his posts actually idolized his mother. And the mother is called Mama Rose Bimpong. An Nkrumahist, a very powerful Nkrumahist who transcended into the NDC with her husband. She is still alive. My brother, my sister, but her husband, J.O.B., John Oscar Bimpong, who was born in 1946. My brother, my sister, Wikipedia is not able to tell us whether he's alive or dead. But I can tell you on authority that this man died far away in 2005. And there he is. My brother, my sister, he says, it's been 14 long years since Dad died. And in his own words, he says, it's been 14 long years, Dad still miss you like yesterday. Rest in peace, J.O.B. And J.O.B. stands for John Oscar Bimpong. 14 solid years, 2005. My brother, my sister, he died. Today, my brother, my sister, the American police is hot. The whole world is on the case of the racist American police that stood and watched right from the DRE, the drug recognition expert Jensen, all the way to the two other policemen who ignored all the signs of stroke and watched while the Ghanaian wriggled in pain and finally lost his life in an American cell. My brother, my sister, on the bare floor. And there, the arrows point at American police hiding behind the door, watching the man wriggling in pain. Wriggling in pain. The word is wriggling in pain while they watched him. And he finally passed on. So many newspapers publish this. The Independent have this to say. All the way from America, it made the headline news. And today, as it stands, the whole of America is coming to the reality of the assassination, racist assassination of a Ghanaian. This is the Independent, and it says a postal worker died from a massive stroke while police and jail staff ignored him for hours. Now they face a federal lawsuit. Oh yes, there's a lawsuit. There's a lawsuit. And the lawsuit, in fact, has been filed by the wife of Kingsley, and her name is Gifty Mensah, alongside her sister. But look at what they said. Officers reportedly watched as Kingsley Fifi Bimpong writhed in pain around in a pool of his own urine on the floor of a jail cell until he was cold to the touch. Now, the family of a U.S. postal worker who died from a massive stroke after his symptoms were ignored by police and jail staff for over 5 hours have filed a federal lawsuit against Minnesota authorities. Officers reportedly watched as Kingsley Fifi Bimpong writhed around in a pool of his own urine on the floor of a jail cell until he was called to the touch and foaming at the mouth, the suits obtained by the independent claims. Bimpong was stopped by police on November 16 after driving the wrong way down a road and striking a curb with his vehicle. He had just left the Egan Post Distribution Center after complaining of a headache. No proper examinations were conducted to determine if the 50-year-old was suffering from a medical emergency or a drug overdose, the lawsuits claim. Now, the suit names Egan police officers Joseph Mossing, these are the police officers, Martin Jensen, and Liam O'Shea, multiple Dakota County correctional officers and Dakota County itself. My brother, my sister. Now, according to the lawsuit, upon his arrest, Bimpong appeared very confused and could not answer questions, including what his name was, what city he was in, or who the current president was, and demonstrated an inability to follow simple directions. He could also not say where he worked, despite still wearing his UPS vest. Officers noted at the time that there was no smell of alcohol or other evidence of drug abuse. In addition, Jensen, who was a specially trained drug recognition evaluator, so you see that, Jensen, a specially trained drug recognition evaluator, was called to assess whether Bimpong was under the influence of drugs or suffering a medical emergency. And what did he say? And what did he say? The lawsuit alleges that Jensen did not complete his assessment properly or fully and allowed Bimpong to be taken to the Egan police station instead of for medical treatment. He was arrested for DWI. And what does this mean to say DWI? Driving with intoxication. Driving with intoxication. That's what they said. Now, body cam audio allegedly captured Jensen saying that a full DRE exam around 30 to 45 minutes would be a whole bunch of time wasted. And when asked by another officer if Bimpong should be taken to the hospital, he responds, for what? Dash it away. This is a really sad story. Come here. Very sad story. DRE, drug recognition expert, is called on. Jensen comes on and says that, you know what, it will be a waste of time to spend 30 to 35 minutes, 45 minutes, even up to an hour, trying to assess if this man is on drugs or not. It is obvious he is on drugs. And police officers said, oh, really? But they still went ahead to ask because they doubted, should we take him to the hospital? And Jensen said, for what? So they took him to the jailhouse, and there, whilst he was writhing in pain, wriggling in pain, what happened? They watched him and thought he was doing gymnastics. He died. Whilst they were even carrying him onto the stretcher, they handcuffed him with red or pink handcuffs, like a criminal, the criminal that he is. And this is for a driving offense. Driving offense, not murder, not suicide bombing, driving offense. The man is allowed to swim in his own urine, wriggle in pain, writhes in pain. And when they carried him to the hospital, he died. Now, this is the punchline now. After he died, they did a post-mortem, and the police were smiling, waiting to be told that the man was on drugs. And when they looked in his body, not even a little bit of alcohol was in his blood. No drugs, no alcohol. He was charged for the wrong reason, DWI, driving with intoxication. Today, the family has sued. The family wants 120 million American dollars. You know why the family is angry? The family one is angry that Kingsley Fifi Bimpong, who was the sole breadwinner of the family, anytime he came home from Minnesota, there was a party all over the area. Family and friends all came around. Schoolmates all came around. In fact, in school, they called him Mugu or Philippi. That was his nickname, Mugu. My brother, my sister, when he died, they couldn't even raise money to bury him properly. You know what they did? A GoFundMe. You know what that means? Asking people to donate money online so they could buy a befitting coffin and bury him. And watch this. They needed 30,000 American dollars. At the time of going to press, they were only able to get 2,534. When would they reach 3,000? And look at the story they put online. It's with deep sorrow that we share the devastating news of the passing of Kingsley Fifi Bimpong, aka Mugu or Filippo, whose untimely death occurred on Tuesday, November 19. It actually happened on November 16. According to officers, 2024 in St. Paul, Minnesota, USA. Kingsley worked for the U.S. Postal Service Egan NDC plant as a ninth expeditor. He was 50 years old. He was from Aguna Swedro in the central region of Ghana. He attended Swedro Secondary School, the Swesco, and at decided college, Cape Coast. He stayed in Chicago, Illinois, and later moved to Minnesota. We gave you all this information, right? Now, this unexpected loss comes with unexpected expenses. His family is facing immense challenges during this difficult time and needs both financial and emotional support. We are reaching out with heavy hearts to ask for your help to cover the funeral and other expenses. My brother, dash it away. A man who led life well, who had an American citizenship, residence permit, worked properly with an American institution. My brother, my sister, driving into the wrong lane. Nobody was hurt. They handcuffed him and treated him like a criminal. He lost his life because of the racist nature of the American police. But the police itself, what did they say about what they did? What was the press release from the police? What did they say? And look at it. Egan Police for immediate release. And this is October 10. How many days ago? 3 days ago. Friday, my brother, my sister. Watch this. City of Egan statement on November 2024 incident involving Mr. Kingsley Bimpong. Egan, Minnesota. On November 16, I remember we corrected that. We told you November 16, not 19. As is being peddled around. On November 16, 2024, an Egan police officer observed a vehicle traveling the wrong way into oncoming traffic. The driver, later identified as Kingsley Bimpong, was stopped by officers out of concern for his safety and that of others on the road. Now, during the traffic stop, Mr. Bimpong was asked and denied having any medical conditions that could explain his erratic behavior. Mr. Bimpong appeared to be impaired, but did not display signs of a serious medical emergency. An officer trained as a drug recognition evaluator responded to the scene. DREs are not emergency medical responders, not medical professionals. Their evaluations are designed to determine whether an individual may be under the influence of drugs or alcohol, not to diagnose medical conditions. Now, due to Mr. Bimpong's apparent intoxication, he was arrested on suspicion of driving while intoxicated. Officers summoned M-Health paramedics who observed Mr. Bimpong for approximately 17 minutes before he was transported to the Dakota County Jail. Hours after Egan officer departed, it was discovered that Mr. Bimpong tragically suffered a fatal stroke. Now the city of Egan extends its deepest condolences to the family and loved ones of Mr. Bimpong. Wow. Wow. Because this matter involves pending litigation, the city will respond to the allegations through the United States District Court and will not be providing further comment at this time. It's in court, so we don't talk. But my brother, they are telling you that the DRE, the drug recognition expert or the drug recognition evaluator that they brought, that these people are not necessarily medical people, but they are trained to be able to tell via the symptoms that this person could be on drugs. But if you have a person like that to evaluate somebody's medical condition and he has misdiagnosed and directed them to send him to jail rather than the hospital, what else do you have to say? Except to say that another innocent soul has been assassinated on the soil of America. The family is crying. I placed a call to the family. Nobody wants to talk to me. Everybody is crying. He's left behind 2 children. My brother, my sister, Aguna Swedro is mourning. So many people knew Kingsley Fifi Bimpong, a.k.a. Mugu, a.k.a. Filippo. He wanted to be a statistician. He wanted to be a mathematician. In fact, he wanted to be a politician like his own father. He comes from a fairly large family. His mother celebrated yet another beautiful anniversary a few years back, and the whole family came together to celebrate her. And there you can see the family, and Fifi is not part of this, obviously, in the United States of America. Here you see grandchildren and also some members of the family, her children. Mama Rose Bimpong. Today, Kingsley has been buried already. They were never able to raise the 30,000 needed. And the sad news is this. The family was refused visa to go to America to mourn the death of their child. What they probably wanted was for him to be flown down to Ghana to be buried so everything will be covered. Thankfully, they succeeded in burying him in America. And the invitation notice came out. Where he was buried, it was a full Christian activity. The whole thing was painted yellow because his favorite color was yellow, as you can see in this photograph. My brother, my sister, the Baptist church was there. Some other faiths, Christian faiths, were there. And he was buried in January this year, 2025, right there in Minnesota, in America. It took lawyers to stand firm and fight, in fact, and have some sort of visas given out for 1 or 2 members of the family to go in there and look at the face of their own child, their son, their uncle, their brother, before he was interred. As I tell you this story, my heart is broken. The American dream could sometimes be a disaster. Another humble soul, hard-working soul, Rasta man. I was told that he used to listen to Blakk Rasta like crazy. He would listen to me on radio. He loved a lot of the things I said on radio. He loved my opinions. And he used to tell his friends, if we could have 2 of Blakk Rastas in Ghana, it would be a different place and we all don't need to go to America anymore. There were some other media personalities that he loved. And when you go on his Facebook page, you will see Gianna Caxos Das. You will see Kevin Taylor. Of course, he comes from the side of the NDC, the Nkrumahs, you know, that kind of vibe. So it's not surprising he would love people like Kevin Taylor, my brother, my sister, who has been vehemently supporting the NDC and fighting against his own party, the NPP. Today, we will not see this brother again. He is gone. There's a photo of him and his little son holding this little son, my brother, my sister, and he says, my son, I will be with you forever. But today, that promise has been broken. Jay is not going to see his father anymore. They had a child, a female called Vivian, will not also see the father anymore. The wife, Gift Mensah, won't see the father, the husband anymore. Neither would the mother, Mama Rose Bimpo, see the son anymore. The American dream is over. My name is Blakk Rasta, and we will follow up on the suit. When the family is ready to talk to us, we would send our cameras there and film whatever events it is. For now, my condolences to the family, and I say, Mugu, Filippo, Damrifa Due, Damrifa Due, ni amane hono. Kai, minu beko, minu beko. Asama ndu so ya mpo. Akamekwa akojao.